time for another 5 of a kind attempt, and this time it is the dodo. So the strategy I used for this was pretty simple. It's just get some ducks, and then on turn 3, roll until I get 2 or more dodos, and then sell all the ducks. Unfortunately, when you do that at the beginning, the chain doesn't really work properly because the dodos need to have different attack values, with highest on the left. But thankfully we get a draw here anyway because of the elephant. And I immediately sell the elephant in order to try and get the otter buffs to land on the dodo. And then we just buy the apple to make sure that the chain starts working now. The reason for the ducks is simply because you can quite easily get a really good chain going that has high attack, but as soon as you get to turn 5, you're at the risk of going against a deer, and the bus will just wreck your dodo team. So you really need to try and get Melon onto this is why I freeze pill here, because this I should say this run was recorded prior to the update, so Turtle is still tier 3. So as soon as you get to turn 5, I'm freezing the pills, hoping to find one and give some kind of protection against bus or generally just any units, because the front dodos are going to have such low health that they're going to die to anything basically. Obviously this is also pre-giraffe nerf as well, so the giraffe's base stats are slightly better. But this is a great start with the otters and the snail. And then we just use the front spot as a pivot, bring something in with a half decent ability. Obviously dolphin has been changed as well. And the dodo chain will make that front unit have decent attack power as well. I like to have garlic on one of the dodos because, although this is pre-turkey buff, it's still risky to just go all melon against summon builds. So I was going to buy the apple there, but I decided just to combine the dodos. They're only on 3 wins, so there's a long way to go, which means there's a very, very good chance I'm going to find enough dodos to make a full team. I actually had quite a lot of attempts at this, and possibly more than any other 5 of a kind I've gone for, because it seems so achievable. And it probably is one of the easier ones, but I'll show at the end a bit of a montage of some of the painful losses I had trying to make this work. It's like a lot of these kind of unconventional builds, you can get to a point where you've got very strong in the mid game, but then towards the late game you're going up against really huge teams and you just don't have the stats to deal with it, because your low health dodos will just get one shot through melon, regardless of whether or not they've got really high attack values. And now here I decided the giraffe is not enough scaling, I'm going to go dragon. And this is the start of, although I do think that's a good strategy, this is the start of a whole bunch of misplays. So we win that round. So get rid of giraffe and start by selling here. Now this is a massive blunder where I accidentally put the chocolate on the back dodo instead of the middle one. I thought I was leveling it up, but I just didn't pay close enough attention. And those are the kinds of errors that can cost you these runs where the margins are so slim. Now here's the summon team. So the double garlic feels like it could be really helpful, but unfortunately they get turtle from the spider. And the sheep is going to kill that dodo, and this dodo is not going to have enough attack power. I think I win or draw that without the turtle spawning. I'm not sure. So we'll do some more buy selling. We don't really need the attack just kind of takes care of itself once you level up the dodos, but having the health is so much nicer. So here's another kind of speculative mistake I make where I just can't resist buying mammoth and then thinking, oh yes, I'm going to pill this mammoth and get lots of stats. But then you end up in the situation where you're trying to find pill late in the game, which is never a good place to be. So we'll replace one of the garlics now. That dodo's attack is going to be pretty hefty, and on turn 12 it'll probably still survive most attacks. Now here you can see I roll past a whole bunch of tier 1s that I could have bought sold, and I'd get the pill eventually, but that turn was just buying one melon and that was it, which was just awful. And we go against this tiger, whale, deer build. I can't remember if I win or lose this one. By 1 health, yeah. So not feeling too hot after that bad turn and then losing by 1 HP. Now here I do actually buy Celeotar for a bit more stats. And on 7 wins, you're starting to worry about not finding any more dodos, but we immediately get one after I freeze the snake. And although you could put the dragon at the front dodo is going to be giving very little attack to it. This team's actually really funny because they have 1-up rat at the front, which doesn't really work because it trades with its own rat. And the 40 attack dodo can blast through the melon at the end there. And we get the cow. Now I'll put some melon armor on the very, very low health dodo. And we'll replace cow with cat. Just if we win the next round, then we're just going to look for food and the final dodo. Now normally at this point I would have probably had more than one level 2 dodo, but because of that mistake, and I guess I didn't find any more chocolate, I've ended up with only one. But you can still see that it gives so much attack down the chain. I'll freeze up the 2 pairs, although we don't have enough money to buy them, and the dodo. And we'll get rid of the cat and get the base stats dodo in. Now, because it has the same attack as the front dodo, it won't really chain properly. But there's not really, I mean, I could put it at the back, I guess. And then I could tank a crocodile hit, but and I decided to put it at the front, and we go against this rhino team. And the snake snipe, I think, actually helped me there, but in the end it's a tie. And now I'm not very confident at all. Turn 16 and I've got 2 base stats dodos. See, now if I'd not made the chocolate mistake, I would be able to have 2 level 2s and pass down even more attack. I would have liked that stake for the second dodo, but couldn't really do anything about it. And we go against the dolphin. This is the older dolphin. And I don't know exactly how those ties are broken, but luckily it snipes the melon dodo instead of the second one. And we finally get the win. And I say finally because there were a lot of attempts, and here's some of them. I haven't included all of them, but I had so many 9 wins where I lost. And this is not a particularly strong looking setup, I don't think. Well, maybe it's not too bad, but anytime you go against the summon team, it's just disastrous because your high attack is worthless. And this team has got level 2 turkey and fly, so the 1 garlic is not going to be enough. But every time you get to 9 wins, it just makes you even more sure that you can achieve it, and you just go for one more run. This one I've got double level 2, but I've got no melon. And we go against another summon team with a worm. and the splash damage coupled with the summons, yeah, never gonna make it through. And to be honest, if I'd found Melon, I probably would have. It wouldn't have made a difference. This one again, we've got triple Melon and double level 2 Dodo, but it's turn 16 again. And I think this one I would win if the monkey in position 2 does not have chili. But unfortunately, he clears out a bunch of Melon armor and it's another loss. There were lots of other losses where I had I was on 9 wins and I had 4 Dodos and I couldn't find another one. But I haven't included any of them here. So here's one with 4 level 2 Dodos, but the health is so low. This team would actually be slightly worse now because they've changed Whale so that Tiger doesn't double the number of pets it spawns. It only doubles the number that it swallows at the start of the round. And here's one of me playing Quad Dodo in Haps versus lobby. And he rudely uses only 1 Dodo against me, which honestly, Haps, just poor show. And he knocked me out. And then final clip, anytime you're running one of these challenges, you're always at the risk of, oh, we find a Dodo there, but we're going to find something else now, and it's a sloth. So I'll skip ahead, and I got a shark in to try and help get the sloth team over the line. And Dodo actually works not too bad with sloth because you can immediately make the sloth semi-effective with a decent amount of attack. But my chain wasn't good enough here, and we lost it. We'll get him next time. And then finally, I'm just going to show the history to show the sheer number of attempts I was having at this. A lot of which are sort of dead on arrival because you didn't get enough Dodos early. You can see the 5 skunk win in there in the middle. That was just completely random during one of the attempts to get the 5 Dodo run. So there we go, another one ticked off the list. 5 Dodos, and since Dodo hasn't been changed in the update, I'm pretty sure that it's still possible. So give it a try.